Friday, and welcome to Hops and Highways, your weekly newscast dedicated to the road building industry. My name is Jessica Lombardo, and I'm editor of Asphalt Contractor magazine. With me is Stormy Roberts, our associate editor. We're going to start the show today congratulating our coozie winner. This week's winner is Kelly Joel. So congratulations to Kelly. Thanks for watching the show, and we're going to get this koozie shipped out to you next week. So starting off today with my beer, I am having a Pineapple Express from Sprecher Brewing Company out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's got obviously pineapple, mango, some fruit, and it's a triple ale, and I really, really like it, but it's more high octane than my Busch Light, so hopefully I can keep my words together today. Normie, what are you drinking?
So you know what? It's a great day for an IPA. I mean, I should say that every week because I feel like that's the beer that I drink every week. But this week I have by Leinenkugel's Brewing Company. It is the Lemon Haze IPA. So it's a newer beer for them. It's hoppy. It tastes like almost like a summer shandy on steroids. Ooh. So good, and I can't wait to have this in the summer. So as you know, we have a very special guest with us, Tadashi Soma. And Tadashi, tell us a little bit about your beer.
So today I have brought the Working Draft Beer Company's Pulp Culture Hazy IPA. It's one of my personal favorites. It's got a lot of tropical fruit notes of grapefruit and pineapple, and it's just perfect for the summer. I've been drinking it for quite a while now.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to have Tadashi, and we're going to talk about why he's joined us today. But first, very important things. We have to cheers. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And thank you to our top fans, Amy and Gabby. They're joining Tadashi in our office today, and they made us that adorable sign. We are so thankful to have coworkers like that. And Tadashi is also one of our newest coworkers. He joined us as an account executive on Asphalt Contractor magazine and Pavement Maintenance magazine, two of our brands that talk about road building and parking lot maintenance and all of that fun stuff. So Tadashi's here today to actually ask us questions about the industry since he's new and he wants to learn everything he can because he's amazing. So Tadashi, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your past, what kind of led you to this career, and what you love most about the company besides Stormy and I and Amy and Gabby.
So for me, as Jess mentioned, I'm the account executive for advertising, sales, and asphalt contractor and pavement maintenance. And as of next Monday, it's going to be 6 full months. So I'm super excited. In my previous roles, I was working with contractors in another trade. And basically, working with contractors, they're just awesome. In any trade, they're just awesome. So when I had the opportunity to work for a media group that promotes the importance of the contracting industry, I just took that opportunity. I'm super excited to be a part of the team.
Yeah, we are so glad to have you, and we're so excited for your enthusiasm that you're bringing to this role and that you really want to learn more and to be as great as you can for the brand and for our customers. And we just are so thrilled to have you on today. So why don't you give us the first question? I think we're ready for you.
Okay, so I got my little notebook. My first question. I'm brand new to the industry, and I have plenty to learn about road building and pavement maintenance. So, today I wanted to focus on pavement preservation. So first, what is asphalt milling? What does it accomplish, and why is it important?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, and I'll take a stab at this one. So asphalt milling is an affordable solution for asphalt pavement restoration and is often used as a cheaper alternative than completely demolishing and repaving. So the process involves grinding up that asphalt surface anywhere from a couple inches to a full depth removal to provide a smooth and even surface for paving. So the material that's removed from the surface is also considered RAP, recycled or reclaimed asphalt pavement. The asphalt milling is the most appropriate for pavements which have widespread surface damage like cracking, raveling, or uneven slope. And because the subgrade is intact, there's no need to conduct a full demolition and repaving. Instead, the affected layers can be removed with a milling machine and replaced with new asphalt.
Okay. So follow up on the reclaimed asphalt pavement. So what's the economic and environmental benefits of utilizing RAP for road projects? And then So are contractors using wrap over virgin materials? And then in fact, are we even going to be using virgin material at all?
So we are never going to be doing away with the virgin materials. That's a huge part of our industry, and a lot of contractors are still kind of slow to adopt wrap, but it's growing exponentially year over year, and that's because the performance is getting better. You probably don't know this, but asphalt is the #1 most recycled material in the country. If you added up all the glass and plastic bottles and all that stuff, it would still weigh less on a scale than 3/4 of all the wrap that is produced in this industry. So the Federal Highway Administration, they estimate that as much as 36 million tons, or 80 to 85% of excess asphalt presently generated, is being used either as recycled hot mix asphalt, in cold mixes, or as aggregate or base materials. So by using wrap, contractors save on those virgin materials, but they also reduce their carbon footprint by consuming fewer natural resources, and that minimizes fuel emissions during the transport process. It helps heating at the plant. They're not using as much fuel to heat up that material. There's also been increased use of wrap, but there's still not, there's still 15% of the material that's not being used. So the industry really, they keep pushing for higher amounts of wrap because it's so sustainable and because of the cost benefits of it. But it's opened a lot of doors for actually rejuvenator companies, which I know we've kind of talked about. So what else you got?
Okay, so kind of touching on the rejuvenators, I have a couple of advertising partners who talk about pavement rejuvenators, and I got 6 months, so I definitely need to learn more about those.
So, like Jess mentioned, there are a lot of contractors using wrap in their mixes, but there's still an oversupply of milled asphalt. Using a rejuvenator in the mix provides an opportunity to utilize more of that wrap in an asphalt mixture, which increases its value to the road builder. So a good rejuvenator reverses the impact of aging on that asphalt performance, properties, and durability, protecting the pavement for future use. The rejuvenator of recycled asphalt mixtures require rebalancing the bitumen fractions in an oxidatively stable and compatible manner. A proper rejuvenation agent will also improve cracking resistance and durability without compromising on rutting resistance. And it could take we could take a whole episode just to talk about rejuvenators, but those are just the cliff notes.
Yeah, and I got to give Dormy props for that answer. She's still new to the industry too, but she's learning every day. And that answer, it really deserves a drink. So cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, Tadashi, next question, shoot it.
So, okay, I think I have a better understanding of how milling works and why it's important to the industry, but now kind of want to talk about the actual equipment. So what qualities are contractors looking for when we're going to buy or get a milling machine?
Yeah, so obviously any piece of construction equipment is a huge investment for your company, and you have a lot of variables considered when buying a milling machine because they're very expensive, and you want them to last, and they want to be exactly what your company needs. Milling is one of the most subcontract activities, and a lot of paving contractors, they don't even have the staff to run a mill. Nearly 40% of companies paving don't, and they're only dedicated to milling. I'm sorry. This is a specialty business that requires experience and dedication to get the job done right. So first, you want to make sure that you have the staff to run this new piece of equipment. And once you've kind of weighed it all out and seen that you did have the right people and you can, dedicate a crew to milling, you want to make sure that you can continually keep that mill busy, because the worst thing to see is a piece of equipment sitting out in your yard and it's not working because you don't have enough work to keep it busy. So in order to manage your costs, you need to be really aware of the business in order to keep that machine running. Crews that are running their mills continuously are putting 1,000 hours on their machine easily, with many of them putting 1,800 hours on it.
Yeah. And just like you said, Jess, once you have enough work in-house to keep that mill busy for a few years and make it a part of your internal services, then you can look at the size of the machine that you need. So smaller commercial mills are often used in parking lots, shoulders, and patching. The cut width of these machines range from 2 to 5 feet, and the machines are nimble and capable of reaching more confined areas. However, they can be limited in overall production due to cut width and horsepower. half-lane machines have the benefit of the versatility. So they're more mobile than the full-lane machines, but also have more horsepower than the smaller mills. Full-lane machines are larger, high horsepower units designed for high production milling of highways and interstates. So those niche contractors who really have the time to use them are going to be more apt in purchasing those machines.
Yeah, so Tadashi, what do you think? Do you feel like you're a milling expert now?
Yes.
That's the right answer.
I mean, there's so much to learn, and Dormy and I were always here to answer your questions or any questions that anybody watching might have. We can get you answers on industry best practices or anything really you're wondering about buying a new piece of equipment. We are an open book. Just shoot us a message and let us know. And if we don't know the answer right away, we will find out for you because we have a host of industry experts that we can rely on, thankfully. So Tadashi, really, thank you for coming on today. It was so fun to have you. Hopefully you can find a beer sponsorship for us. We're waiting. I mean, Bush likes answering my phone calls, so I don't know.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. This has been great. And I learned quite a bit. I got a lot of notes that I just have to go through now.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tadashi. Have a great weekend. Cheers.
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 Bye. Well, I wish we could say we were done, but we have a lot of news to cover from this week, and I am tired of it a little bit, but if we could just hurry up and pass an infrastructure bill so the news would slow down, that would be really great. Until then, though, we really want to make sure that you're updated on where the funding stands. So the House has passed a 1.9 trillion coronavirus relief bill called the American Rescue Plan, and that legislation is now in the Senate. What's going to happen there? Still kind of to be determined. There's going to have to be some give and take by both sides in order to get that bill passed. But once it's passed, senior leaders in the Biden administration, they've said that there will be a hard push for infrastructure stimulus next. That's the next thing on their agenda. Fingers crossed.
And last week, the Senate Environmental and Public Works Committee took some bipartisan first steps forward, towards passing an infrastructure bill as the nation's surface transportation program is set to expire on September 30th. So the committee hopes to agree on a package by Memorial Day, leaving the summer months for the full Senate and House to pass a bill.
So the EPW chairman, Tom Carper, during those meetings, he laid out three principles from which to develop the legislation. First, he said that much of our transportation infrastructure is in sorry shape. And this is not something that the federal government should do alone. It's an all hands on deck moment is what he said. Secondly, he said that things worth having are worth paying for, and we can't just put all of our improvements that are needed on our country's credit card. So we have to find ways to fund it. Third, Carper said that those of us who use our nation's roads, highways, and bridges, they have a responsibility to help pay for them.
And along those lines, the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, highlighted that fixing America's maintenance backlog on our roads and bridges would be a top priority for his national agenda. Buttigieg believes there is an urgency at the moment and impatience from the American public on the issue of infrastructure, and says that with some support and prodding of Washington leaders, there is a big chance that we can get expansive legislation passed. So let's hope for that, and we'll drink to that too.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
So in some news related to why we really need this expansive legislation, the American Society of Civil Engineers, they've given our nation a C- grade this week in their report card. They estimate that it would take $5.9 trillion over the next decade to bring roads, bridges, and airports to a safe and sustainable level. That's about $2.6 trillion more than what the government and private sector are already spending.
It's insane. And while the entire grade was passing, our roads received a D grade, which means that 43% of our system is now in poor or mediocre condition. The U.S. has been underfunded in roadway maintenance for years, which the ASCE says has resulted in $786 billion backlog for road and bridge capital needs. So the ASC says that to address this issue, we need to increase the funding from all levels of government and the private sector, as well as fix the Highway Trust Fund, as we know, to ensure long-term sustainable funding for the federal surface transportation program.
How do we let it get this bad is my question. I know that a surface transportation bill, it's going to create a lot of jobs that are needed. And we're going to cheers to that and cheers to funding coming through by the end of the summer. Cheers.
Cheers. So we want to salute a crew this week for Build America Friday. And the National Asphalt Pavement Association announced their 2020 award winners, and there were some projects that are worth talking about. So Gherkin Paving, Inc. of Napoleon, Ohio, was the recipient of the 2020 Ray Brown Award for resurfacing of runway 119 and adjoining east apron of the North Bass Island Airfield in Ohio.
Yeah, so on this project, the Gherkin crew placed two 2-inch lifts of asphalt on the runway. They used a ferry to transport 3,500 tons of asphalt to this remote island, which was 10 miles offshore. Once on the island, the asphalt hauling trucks had to travel down fields and roadside rights of ways to avoid damaging the roads. The last paving shift worked 20 hours to place the pavement before inclement weather hit. The result was a quality asphalt runway. And if you know asphalt, you know you have to keep it warm. So to keep it warm across the ferry and down those roads was a huge challenge. And congratulations to the crew at Gherkin. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, folks, that's all that we have for Hops and Highways this week. We'll keep it short. Don't forget, if you want one of these super cool Yeti can insulators, make sure you enter in the drawing. We'll make sure to link it in our next post.
Yes, and congratulations to Kelly Jones, who won the koozie this week. Again, we'll be contacting you for the address to send it out. Send us a picture with your favorite beer in it once you get it. And thank you guys for watching. Next week, Women in Construction Week, we are going to be joined by 3 women working to make their way in the asphalt industry and learn about their careers and everything that has brought them to this great industry. And we can't wait to hear their stories. Thank you, Tadashi, for joining us. And for all of you watching, stay safe out there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Watch Hops and Highways live every Friday at 3 p.m. on Asphalt Contractor's Facebook page. Or catch the replay on forconstructionpros.com/videos.